Jennifer Lopez is a public figure who many people would refuse to call a bona fide triple threat in the entertainment industry. I believe this is a rather unfair judgment of her abilities. If we deliberate over her 30-plus years of work in both music and film, even though some of her songs aren't entirely sung by her, nor properly credited by her team. Case in point for the latter, though, her acting in and co-producing of Hustlers, a film that not only presents a near-accurate depiction of an actual stripper scam timeline, but also the nuances and complexities of life as a woman stripper. Destiny is a tyro exotic dancer who desperately wants to provide a living for herself and her grandmother, but she's constantly being taken advantage of by her superiors and can't seem to effectively tantalize an audience like her more experienced co-workers. Veteran stripteaser Ramona changes that by taking her under her wing, and the two go on to enjoy a glamorous year on stage and backstage with their crew. During the 2008 recession, however, the women struggled to climb back up the pole when there's hardly anyone at the bottom salivating at them, with countless amounts of cash in their pockets. Between their day jobs and their families, our leads tried to find ways to lure the Wall Streeters back into their club, until Ramona devises a conspiracy to socialize with and drug them at bars, before extorting money, most of which they'd take for themselves, from their credit cards. With New Girls in tow, Destiny handling the logistics, and Ramona making friends, they finally get to relive their glory days. However, Destiny, who initially expresses reluctance, soon realizes that this really isn't a good idea, and unavailingly pressures Ramona to put an end to it. If Lopez could play a stern yet vulnerable dance instructor in Shall We Dance, or a brave mother trying to escape an abusive marriage in Enough, both of which are great films, by the way, she can most certainly tackle the role of a witty and resourceful stripper, who doesn't always make the best judgments. Constance Wu's Destiny isn't a passive flower who's afraid to speak her mind, but Lopez's Ramona is clearly the lioness in this picture. Despite their growing differences, the love they have for each other is very much authentically presented. Destiny's interview with the journalist, Elizabeth, isn't a mere justification for flashbacks like it tends to be in other movies. Instead, we see Destiny abrasively questioning Elizabeth's motives, considering the stigma surrounding strip clubs, especially when she discovers the latter has also been speaking with Ramona. We realize by Elizabeth's patience that she really is supportive of the women's well-being, and it is through interactions with her that we see more humanized and insightful characters. Of course, it doesn't stop there. All throughout the movie, we witness snippets of these women striving to maintain sisterly relations with one another in this line of work, while juggling their own family's needs, other jobs, and educational pursuits, respectively. Even if they don't necessarily enjoy what they're doing, particularly when these frustrations bleed into their personal relationships, they genuinely feel as though they have no other choice, and really just want the best for their loved ones in a society that places so much emphasis on competitive survival, no matter the cost. We may read them as giddily selfish, Ramona especially, but it's more a case of getting carried away with success, which parallels quite nicely with their clients at Wall Street. I appreciate the movie showing the consequences of these strippers exerting their power over wealthy men, as opposed to letting them just skip merrily to the bank every time in the supposed name of empowerment. Regardless of the dollar signs, they do express concern over their clients when things start to go awry. In fact, the power dynamic appears fluid throughout the picture. Everyone is affected by others' actions. And we don't have to feel remorse over sympathizing with them at different times, because there is no one true antagonist, and at some point, lessons do have to be learned. Most of the women characters in this cast are mainly played up for laughs. As Hustlers is both a comedy and a drama, I might have preferred to see either a more grounded direction in the performances, or actresses who have experience playing similar characters in other films instead of them. I could definitely imagine a Kristen Stewart or a Salma Hayek, both of whom had actually played strippers before, in something like this, for example. But seeing as the focus is primarily on Wu and Lopez, I don't mind the choices too much. At the end of the night, what I got was fun and food for thought. The popularity of Magic Mike gives me hope that we'll be even more accepting of movies like this, that shed light on what really happens in the adult entertainment business, and why we shouldn't be so dismissive of its participants' lives.